Stamping friends, it's Marilyn here with Stamping Creations with Marilyn, coming to you from Spruce Grove, Alberta, Canada. And I'm going to share another card making technique with my product of the week with you. I would just like to make sure I'm in the right spot. Looks like I am. So I'm going to switch over where I can talk to you personally. Thank you for joining me today or on the replay, whatever works for you. I have been working on plate making products and making samples with dandelion wishes this week. So you'll see a few of those, some that with different colors and whatever. I'll show you some more at the end. But I have one today that I'm going to share using water painters again, which I used July 30th, I think it was. I did a video on those. So hopefully you got a chance to look at that. And there's some technique or some tips there, and I will mention a few again today with doing this one. Before we get started, I do have a few announcements. I have reminders for the bonus days coupons, reminders for our stamping staycation, which is coming up September 12th. And on that note, if you share this video or any of my Tuesday Facebook Lives from last Tuesday, August 11th, to September 8th, I will put your name in a draw to win registration to Stamping Staycation, and that is a $47 value. If you've already registered and paid, I will refund you that if your name is drawn. So I'm going to switch you down to my desktop. Hopefully that works. Looks like it does on my end here, so hopefully it does there. If you are joining me live, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. I probably won't get to read them all as we're doing the Facebook Live, but I will certainly refer back to them and chat with you afterwards because I love reading what's happening there. So as you can see, looks like it's working on my iPad there. My host code for the month. If you don't have a demonstrator, live in Canada, I would love to help you out with getting some products and learning some stamping techniques, things that we enjoy doing as Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. So that is there. Bonus days coupons. If you purchased $60 in July, you are now eligible to spend your $6 coupon in August, and you can spend it on anything, on an online order. If you want to send me an order and I can put it through for you, I will need your email with that code in it, but it has to be done before the end of August, so don't want you to miss out on gaining that. Stamping Staycation, as I mentioned, registration is now open. This is the details of it. You have until September 10th to register, and we are going to have live presentations that will be recorded. If you're not available that particular day, you can still register, and approximately a week afterwards, we will be sending out a link for you to get all of the PDFs for the projects and all of the taped videos, taped presentation live, Facebook Live presentations, get the words right, and our taped videos. So lots of things to look forward to there, and definitely comments from the last time was it was well worth the time and the dollars for that. As I mentioned, you can win a free stamping staycation by sharing my videos, my Facebook Live videos, from now until September 8th. So I think that is all the information details. I'm going to show you the card that we are going to be making. Again, with the watercolor background, just a little bit different technique with doing some masking to get to that, and using my product of the week, Dandelion Wishes. This stamp set has delicate dandelion stamps, some awesome words, sending well wishes your way, wishes for a lifetime of love and happiness. I made a wish and you came true. I've also seen it done I don't have a sample with it, but with this particular stamp, like we've used here, and then sympathy across the bottom. So lots of different ideas there. Just want to share where you'll find it. In the annual catalog, it is on page 73. And you can see that it is 6 cling stamps for $27. So quite a reasonable price for that many stamps and the different things you can do with it. And before I forget to tell you, the watercolor painters that I'll be using are found on page 146. They are number 11, which appears over here. So you get the 3 of them in a package for $16.25, and you can fill them with water, and they all have different tips on them. So I am going to be using the widest one, as you might have guessed, for doing a background like that. So I'll just leave that one open, and we will get started. So for my card, I have a background card base of Whisper White. This one is 4 1/4 by 11. So it is going to be, this one stands up this way, this one I happen to make to go this way. So the paper would be the same size. Then I will have my black at 5 by 3 3/4. So this is what I call levels, 2 levels down, just so you've got more of a white area around it. And then to do my background, I used the grid paper and I used large Post-it notes and lined them up so I had kind of a straight, hopefully a straight line across. You can see from the image or the grid lines. And because it's the note paper, you can lift it up and move it if you have to. And I did make it and mark it this way to get my edges the same distance in, and I used 3/4 of an inch. So just with a pencil and a ruler, and then I lined up these. And these, obviously they're not a Stampin' Up product, but you can get them in the local stationery store. Staples is one of my favorites. So I did that. Then I picked my colors, and you could use any combination of colors, but I was leaning towards a fall sample, so I used Daffodil Delight, Calypso Coral, and Pumpkin Pie. Especially with these older style stamp pads, you can usually push on them like that and the ink will appear on the lid. If that isn't enough ink, and I think there is enough there, but you can always use your ink refills and just put, some of them I'm finding come out a little bit quicker than others. So I'll put a drop there, and then that way if you do it in the lid as opposed to doing it on a clear block, which will work, or in a paint dish or whatever, it stays all with your ink pad, and it doesn't matter if you've got quite a bit left over or whatever, it's going to be there to be used. So I just use my my wide brush, and I started at the bottom and I water painted the color, however much, if I wanted more, less. And because I'm looking for a fall color, I don't want it really, really dark. It's not a nighttime shade. So I used Daffodil Delight. Then I used the Calypso Coral. This pushing on it, like I say, really works on these older style stamp pads, it does not work well on the newer ones. And I was lucky enough. I'm going to squeeze a little bit more water into this so it's more of a light sunset. And on this one, I did have some pushed through with by pushing on the stamp pad. And I'm going over, having it meet my yellow. And again, to clean it, I'm just squeezing the water down through the bristles and wiping it with paper towel. And you can see the ink does come off. The bristles will probably be stained for life, but that's a sign of being well loved. And then I did the pumpkin pie. And again, there is a bit of give there. And it looks like I had quite a bit of the orange there. So I'm going to squeeze a little bit more of the water so it's not too dark. And I'm just going to finish my background. So you might recall, if you watched my video a few weeks ago there, that you can make lots of different backgrounds by using these brushes and using them in different patterns. The other ones with points on them get finer and whatever. So that, kind of like that, is going to be my background. So I'm quite positive that none of you want to wait for that to dry. So through the magic of television and a little bit of forethought, I had one that I did the other day that is totally dry. So these are very easy to take off. I wouldn't try masking tape for this. You could try the painter's tape, but these Post-it notes work really well, and you can see you've got fairly crisp edges. So for that, then I would do my stamping. And I made a wish, and you came true. And you'll notice on this, I don't have the label on it. These are the older clear mount stamps. And I struggle with them to have them stay on my clear block if I put the label on them. So to make sure that I get it right side up, I did put an arrow on it. So I'm going to stamp that. Looks like it's almost lined up. That's pretty fantastic. And unfortunately, in this case, it's not one of those that if I made a mess, I would be able to turn it over. But I think I did it. So again, I like to leave my lid there so I can, and I'm going to just place this like that. And there basically is my card. So like I mentioned, you could use it for lots of different occasions, whether it be happy birthday or the one verse that's in it, as in wishing for a lifetime of love and happiness, tends to lead me to think wedding. So then I'm going to mount it on there with tape runner, and in my case it's Stamp and Seal. So I would just use that around the four edges. And line it up. Again, I like to turn mine over to burnish it on the back side so that I'm not rubbing the ink anywhere. My black, I actually inked most of my stamps the other day, and I'm going to have to really be careful that they're not still wet when I touch them. So, and then again, for a bit of variety, I would use dimensionals on the back. And open it. Plus a little bit of embellishments. I have to share with you what happened on this card in a minute, as soon as I notice this one way off here. That's really not my style, but that's what you do when you have a blob of black ink and you don't really want to start all over again with it. So I chose to use Calypso Coral sequins from the Artistry Blooms package. And as you can see, there's different sizes. Hopefully you can see, large and small. So I am going to put on this one, I'm going to use a large one in the center with turn the adhesive side down, it helps. And I'm a fan of doing odd numbers, so I'm going to use those 3. So that is my sample for you today. If you'd like to comment on which one you like or some suggestions, if you make one, please share it in the comments. I would love to see what you come up with. So I'll just slide those, and then I'm going to show you these 3 others that I have with that set. And you know what? I'm going to hold them so they're a little bit closer. That one is done with the Wishes for a Lifetime of Love and Happiness. And I'm going to guess Pool Party ink. It's been for a while. This set has been out for a little while, so I have had a chance to play with it. One of my favorites, all-time favorite cards are black and white. So this one is done with the white embossing powder on black, and it's done with where you do it, you cut it out, and then put this layer of white scallop or regular. You could use straight cut paper behind it and the sparkling embellishments. And this one is done with our new cinnamon cider in color this year. And the thank you is from the So Sentimental set, which I just used a marker to do thank you. Instead of, can't remember the words on top and bottom, but it was a little too big for what I wanted. And I used it on the Stamparatus so that I could stamp it again and again if it wasn't right. And it was lucky because my marker and I were not having a good time when I did that. Some of the ribbon, just plain black on the cinnamon cider, and I don't have any sparkles on there. And now looking at it, I kind of like it that way. It would work as a kind of a generic thank you card. So send me a message. Let me know what you like and what you might like me to see me do again. No, don't do again. Do next time, because I would. I'm planning on keeping on doing these each week. So I'm going to switch you back where I can see you again, or you can see me, I guess. I can't see you, but I will be looking for your comments. And I thank you for coming to watch. Please share my video for a chance to win Stamping Staycation. It's going to be awesome. We have been working on the projects. Most of them will be from what we're calling the Holiday Mini, but lots of other tips and whatever happening there too, so you won't want to miss it. So till next time, take care and know that you can find me on my website or